Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Business of Gut Health event. My name is Amber Miller, and I'm so excited to be your host tonight. And we have three beautiful speakers that I'll be introducing one-on-one that are here to share their stories and what they have found with Business of Gut Health. But to start us off, I'm guessing you're watching tonight, someone invited you, or maybe you saw the link and decided you wanted to check this out because you are looking for something different, right? That's why all of us came to this from different age groups and experiences and networks and backgrounds. We all were seeking something different and better than what the modern mainstream flow was for work and income and lifestyle. If you are wanting to get out of a cubicle or get out of a financial stress situation where you have a boss above you telling you what to do all the time and you're capped with your income, you want somewhere where you can pour in creativity or just find that breath of fresh air, right? That is what we have all discovered here with the business side of Plexus. 99% of the time, we talk all about the products, and we're going to hit on it a tiny bit tonight, but this is the time where we get to focus on the financial benefits of Plexus and how it's blessed our homes and why we see it as a wise business choice for others. So we're going to be flipping back and forth here tonight, sharing some stories. I have some info slides for you to check out on the why Plexus, on that foundational wisdom that we see here in the business model. So we'll be going back and forth. So with that though, I'm gonna jump in and pull this up and get started to show you guys here. So we're really looking with the current economy and how things are going with how to inflation proof our budget, right? How to find a different option, something that fits and works, whether it's hobby money or that inflation proofing money or full-time income, like so many of us have found here. So our goal is to show you that why we chose this and how we do this and the next steps if you are ready to get started and want to move forward right away. So the first why is the products. Like I said, we're not going to talk too long, but we can't go without bringing them up because this is why we have this business. It's the business of gut health because people have such drastic needs in this department. I want you to look at this list on the screen and just think, do I myself or do I know anybody that struggles with any of these conditions? And if you, with Plexus, we represent a product line that helps people find freedom and relief from these things. It's a needed, consumable product, really making a difference in people's lives. And to touch on that a little bit more, I'm going to bring in our first story, which is Dr. Stephanie. And she is a now friend because of Plexus, a close friend. And she, I'm going to let her introduce herself, but Stephanie, can you please share what drew you to Plexus? Why, as a medical doctor, you came to the business, but also to the products for your own clients?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Amber. And like you said, I am a medical doctor. I've been in practice for about 20 years. My original specialty was OBGYN, delivering babies, doing the surgeries, all the things. And then once I was starting to have my own babies, I was able to transition into a private practice that allowed me the opportunity to investigate more holistic modalities for health and healing and integrative care and all of those things. So I will just tell you some facts about why I love Plexus and some personal stuff as well, because we always want to hear the personal stuff, right? But really, when you look, there's a huge demand for gut health supporting products. Men, women, children, all walks of life, we all need it. And, the numbers are somewhere around 80% of us, whether or not we have symptoms or not, are probably walking around with some sort of leaky gut, our intestinal permeability. The rates of diabetes and sugar intolerance, metabolism disorders, in America are climbing 35, 40%. And so this product line helps us address that at the root cause with, plant-based ingredients that are actually good for us. It is designed to be a monthly consumable. So people are going to be reordering, and it utilizes the brilliant model of, at-home delivery and online ordering. So all of these things make it, very convenient to use, very effective to use, and the demand is certainly there. Yeah. So on to the more private stuff, I can tell you about 4 years ago, when I first took a look at Plexus, I was going through a breast cancer journey. And I did some conventional things, and I did some non-conventional things. And I had like 5 different healers, doctors, energy healers, naturopath, all the things. And they didn't all agree with each other, but they all said you need to support your microbiome, keep your blood sugar in check, and keep your inflammation low. And so as a doc, for me to be able to look at Plexus and see like, check, that's exactly what these products do in a, synergistic, effective way that is cost effective and easy to use. It was like a dream come true. And I had access to all the medical grade supplements, all the things. But I chose this line because of those reasons. It was so effective. It was so reassuring to know I am checking all these boxes. Like, these doctors don't agree with everything, but they do agree I need to do this. And I can check all these boxes with this product line. So that was very reassuring for me, and I will never look back and never give it up. From a business standpoint, it didn't take me long to see the wisdom in this business. And personally, I have really benefited in that when I was out, I had to have a second surgery. When I was out of the office, I still had money coming in through Plexus. I was able to maintain my staff. I was able to keep the doors of my office open because of Plexus while I was out on sick leave. And then a year after that, with the pandemic, similar situation, and that, some practices, ERs and urgent cares were busier. I was less busy, but I was able to thrive because of Plexus. So I think it is a very wise model to have some form of residual income where the overhead is extremely low. I mean, guys, even if you bought a new computer every year for your Plexus business, that would be nothing compared to what most small business owners have to pay for their overhead between, insurance, employees, the building that you're at, your lease, taxes, all the things. So I am forever grateful that I was introduced to these products and that I was introduced to this business model. I do not have to sacrifice my autonomy to practice in a way that I would like. And I also have a lot more free time now. I'm doing more things with my family. I'm taking more trips. I have friends. We are doing social things. So it's really brought my life full circle and given me just a lot of bonuses in many different areas. So I'll leave you with that, Amber.
Thank you so much. You hit on so many different points, not only in your own story, but just from your own experience. And that's why we're so grateful to have you tonight. I love showing the validation of why a doctor, someone that we would see and that does have an incredible career and so much education, pursue this type of business model when you saw the product line and what that could offer. That's what as a stay-at-home mom, I can say, well, this was the route that I took because it was the only thing in front of me, but you had so many options and we're already doing something. So thank you for sharing that experience. And I'm so glad that you found that freedom and you get to hang out at all the cool stuff with us now, and we get you. So thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so going into so that was why the products, in what she said, seeing so many people have these needs, and we can see them in our own friends without being in that industry, right? Without being a doctor, we can see it in our own family and friends, the product need there. And the second would be what you already spoke on, Stephanie, is the business model. The fact that we have an incredibly low startup costs, $9.99 to get started with your own online business representing these products, a proven product line that people have a need for, working from anywhere, whether you're in a situation like you were, or a stay-at-home mom like I am, or you're on your lunch break while you're building another revenue stream, working from anywhere, choosing your own schedule. We're going to get into some of these a little bit deeper, but take a screenshot if you're on your phone and think about how this business model opens all these doors that the traditional business market doesn't, right? The no barriers, no income caps. One thing that is really important, I love to spotlight, is that no barriers and no caps. So even though Dr. Stephanie, we bring her and we love her to share why she chose with all of her training and education, it's still open for someone like me. I was 23 years old when I got started in the Plexus business, a stay-at-home mom. I just graduated high school. I had never gone to college. I had no schooling or certification or trainings or anything in upper education, but I was still able to build to the top of the company and retire my husband through this business model while homeschooling my kiddos, because there are no barriers and no caps in those departments. So if you're listening to Dr. Stephanie and thinking, well, she could do it because of her position, we want to tell you, you can do it as well, because while the position is nice, it is not necessary, right? Anybody can be successful in this model with this product line. So with that, I'm going to bring on our next story to also help firm up that point and show that other side. Jania, I'm going to butcher it. I butcher it every time, but I'm so thankful that you're on tonight. And you guys grab your tissues because this one is a tearjerker. I'm going to let you take it away, friend.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. And I love hearing stories of people like Stephanie who do have that education. And it's just validating, like, okay, so I am taking these products, but it just goes to show that even someone who does have way more education and knowledge than I do also loves these products, which is great. So my name is Janina, and I have been with Plexus for 8 years now, which is crazy to think about that it has been that long. But when I first started, I was a new mom and I had a 4-month-old little boy, and he was my whole world. But I had just gotten off of unpaid maternity leave, which was super, super difficult, because going from having an income to not having an income for 6 weeks to 2 months was very hard. And for a lot of people, and I'd say majority of Americans, like just losing 6 weeks of income is detrimental because we don't have enough of a cushion to fall back on. And so for me, that was my story. I mean, we were struggling a little bit before, but after having a baby and not getting paid for that, plus all of the medical bills, it was just a lot. And we were really, really struggling financially. And it wasn't just like, we can't go out to dinner and you can't get your nails done and you can't have all these little extras. It was things like, I shared a phone at the time with my husband at the time. Our electricity was getting shut off, our water was getting shut off. And I knew that I had to do something different. I knew that something had to change in our situation, because it wasn't just going to magically get better. I had to do something. Nobody was coming to save me except for Jesus, but no one was coming to save me from that situation. And I had to take control and do something different for my family. So I started really Googling ways that moms can make money online. And everything seemed like it was going to take a long time. Like doing YouTube videos, it would have been months, if not years, before I'd actually be able to monetize off of that. Same with couponing, blogging, all the things. And so I needed something much faster. And when I found out about Plexus through one of my friends, she is a registered nurse, and she was my go-to person for all things questions about babies. And so I really trusted what she had to say. And I saw her make $300, and I was like, okay, if I can make $300, that would make a huge difference for my family. Like that would mean not having to go to food pantries and being able to have Wi-Fi. And I hear a lot of times people saying things like, well, I just don't have the money to get started with Plexus, or, I don't have the resources. Like I shared a phone with my husband at the time, and I worked my business. So there really is no excuses. If you have a why and you want to make a way, you can make a way. But I decided to take a chance on Plexus. And honestly, I didn't have the money when I started. I took on some babysitting jobs and sold a couple things that I had because I had a strong why and I had a belief that I can make a couple $100s, and that was all that I needed and I would be happy. So my first month I made over $300, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. I'm done. Like, this is what I've been waiting for, and I was so excited for that and just started dreaming bigger. My son had a babysitter at the time. And I just remember the first time that she took him to the park and he went on a swing, and it was like this joyful thing. And I just cried because I missed it. I missed his first time on the swing. And I was like, don't tell me if he says any first words. Don't tell me if he walks. Don't tell me any of those things because I want to experience them for the first time. And so I had a strong why and I worked really hard. I was also working full time. And in 11 months, I was able to quit my job because I made more with Plexus than I did working full time. So it just goes to show when you have a strong desire, you can make anything happen, even if you don't have any money to invest into it. And then my second year in my business was when everything kind of started falling apart. So my husband at the time was an addict, and he was basically he got arrested and was in and out of jail. And after that, after jail, he was able to get into rehab to kind of like finish out his jail time. And then he got kicked out of rehab. And it was just this cycle of being in situations that were very dangerous for us. And, looking back, situations where we're very lucky to survive, where at the time I had no idea what was going on around me, but God definitely protected us from those things. And so going through that situation, I knew I had to do something different with my son. He was 2 at the time. And I decided that I was going to leave that marriage. And it was because of Plexus that I was able to leave an abusive marriage and start fresh. And I would have not had that opportunity without Plexus. And if I would have, it would have been much more difficult because I never had to put my son in childcare after that. I was able to continue being a stay-at-home mom and didn't have to worry about who was going to watch him, where he was going to go, how we were going to pay for things. And Plexus really allowed me the freedom to be the mom that he needed. And he had been through so much chaos in the first 2 years of his life. So being able to be that stability and say, I can take care of you. Like, I'm here, you have me, just really meant a lot. And so we were able to get through that season of our lives thanks to Plexus. And then 2 years later, I became an Emerald Ambassador, which is one of the top ranks of our company, and earned a 6-figure income. And so it's just mind blowing to think about where we started and where we were brought to. And my son doesn't know any different. All he knows is Plexus and going on trips together. And, now I am remarried and we both serve on a ministry team at church, and I'm a worship leader. Kind of like you, Amber, I was able to retire my husband from law enforcement during the pandemic when everything was super crazy. So even being able to do that and have that financial freedom, just thinking about where we came from, where with literally like getting evicted, losing our car, not being able to pay for groceries and having to go to food pantries, to being able to have the freedom we have now. I never want to take that for granted.
Wow. Goodness, thank you so much. I don't even know what to say after a story like that. I warned you, Sonia, to have your tissues. She is a crier. But that is such a touching story, just to see the impact, what your what your determination and your willingness to change. And, you said at the beginning, nobody was going to save me but Jesus. And I could only think as you were talking how he put something in your path that he knew you were going to need, that you didn't even know all the ways that was going to fulfill. How absolutely incredible. There's a saying I love, a quote one of my good friends said, if you pray for God to move a mountain, you have to be willing to pick up a shovel, right? And you picked up that shovel, and look at what it's done for you and your son and your new husband. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for being just the vulnerability and sharing all of that with us tonight to give people hope and inspiration. And that's what we really want to do here tonight. We can show you all the facts and the stats, but to give you hope and inspiration in these stories, if you're watching this and you're relating to any of this, whether it's wanting the time freedom of Dr. Stephanie or needing a way out of something that seems too big and huge, and how to show you the possibilities and opportunities here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so to keep going somehow, after that, I want to show you the next why. And you brought this up of the actual income. When you said you were, looking at different opportunities and how long that those could take or what they could bring in. I was listening to a video today, and they have over 200,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. And he said they are lucky to make $2,000 a month off their monetized YouTube, with 10,000 views per video. And I just thought, my goodness, you would totally think that there'd be more profit in those things. But that's what we love here in Plexus, is that there is a legitimate income behind, whether you're looking for a couple $100s or that's your starting point. Because I'm the same. I thought, well, I could a couple $100. Like I believe I could attain that. That's something I could reach, but that's there for you. But the opportunity to grow it into whatever you want it to be and whatever you need it to serve your family. It's building a business. I love to always reiterate, this is not a lottery ticket. It's not a maybe it can work. It's a if you follow the plan and work and show the patience and the diligence, it has that opportunity to pay off here. So thank you so much for firming up that point. I want you to look at these numbers and think, what would make a difference for my family? When we say rank, you can see silver, gold, senior gold. These titles just mean how many people are using Plexus products because you started the ripple effect of sharing. You told your mom, and your mom told her friend because she needed gut health, right? That's 2 people now that are using the products. And that's what rank means. How many people are using the products because you started sharing with someone? So what would make an impact in your home? All right. And before we get into how to start, and we'll finish out how to start, if you are ready for this and want to jump in and see what it's like on this side, I'm going to have our beautiful Sonia Dudley, a close neighbor. Her daughter used to babysit my kids. I can't believe it. Sonia, can you please share your story of Plexus with us?
Yes, it's so hard to follow both of these ladies. I'm so impressed and moved and inspired, and hearing both of your stories, Stephanie, it validates, like it always validates when I hear from someone with your level of education that what I do is like real. But I don't need validation, but because I know what it's done for me. But it's good to have that because I go, yep, even someone like her, who has this, so it's great. And for other people, and Janina, my gosh, I can't even talk about your story, but it's the reason we do what we do. And when I came into Plexus 10 and a half years ago, I'd been very sick for a few years, and for a few years, for 17, 18 years, I'd worked for myself doing something like this from home. And then when I got really, really sick, I gave that up. I had about a 5-year window where I was trying to get better. I was very, 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 very sick, no quality of life. And I was in my late 30s, early 40s. I tried a couple, 3 other businesses. I did other things. I did have a brick and mortar, so I do know the headache with that. And when I came into Plexus in September 2012, I was pretty much dead set I would never do this kind of thing again. Who defines normal? Who defines normal? The world defines normal is you go work 9 to 5, you go to college, you work 9 to 5, and you come home. And I'm going to tell you, after the last 2 to 3 years, I don't think anyone knows what normal is. I know what my normal is. I want to have time freedom. I want to have unlimited income so I can write a check to people in need. Number one, it's my favorite thing to do is to help other people without looking at the bank account. I remember when I joined needing desperately $300 a month, thinking maybe I could cook on the weekends after my 9 to 5 and sell like some of my food, like do a food delivery service on Sunday afternoon. Like I was desperate trying to think of how I could get out of this situation. So $300 a month, my first few weeks in Plexus it gave me hope again. It gave me belief that I could do this. So don't let the world define your normal. What do you want? I wanted time freedom. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted unlimited income so that I could help and do and be and travel and make memories and provide without going into debt to the government. That's what I wanted. And so when Plexus, the products changed my life, drastically changed my life, I just started opening my mouth. And let me tell you something. If something changes your life, you talk about it, right? Don't you worry about what people think about it. They do not pay your bills. They do not define you. They will not be with you when you're old and gray. Stop worrying about what people think about you. If you believe in something, take it and run with it because God gave you that. He gave me Plexus. He did. He so gave me Plexus. I was able to quit my job shortly after joining Plexus because it was taking off. And I was bold in telling people because what it had done for me. I'm not a doctor, Stephanie. I did not know ingredients. Amber can vouch for this. I did not know ingredients, but I could say, here's what it's done for me. My son, who watched me, he's 27, for 10 and a half years, 3 weeks ago, said, okay, Mom, I'm tired of being sick. My son has a lot of health issues. He is a different human being 3 weeks from now. He has sponsored 4 people in 3 weeks himself, not me, because he's like, Mom, I don't know what's in this, but I'll never be without it. This has changed. This has changed. This has changed. I'm sleeping. I'm like, me and my husband are like blown away. This is real. Gut health is real. We're in the prime. People are catching on. Doctors, traditional doctors are going, gut health is where it's at. There's a gut and brain connection. They're catching on. This is it, guys. It changed my life. I quit my job. My husband, who was an electrician for 28 years, commuting every day, making almost 6 figures. I was able to retire him last year, 2 years early, because we were financially set, and he's like, okay, I'm sick of the drive. Let's just do it. And so he's home with me, and we travel, we have freedom, but most of all, we don't have to worry, and worry causes a lot of things. But I'm telling you right now, it's just, I had made some notes, but based on what several of you said, oh my gosh, I don't have a degree. I quit college my senior year. I don't have a degree. I knew I was not meant for college. Just don't let the world define your normal. My son is like, I'm not selling it. I'm like, no, but you've sponsored 4 people. All he does, I'm like, how are you doing it? He goes, I just tell him, my goodness, I don't know what's in it, but it's working for me. And I tell him what it's done. And he throws me in a chat. I go, throw me in a chat. He puts me in a text with these people. And he goes, hey, Susie, this is my mom. Mom, this is Susie. Susie wants to know about Plexus. And then I start telling Susie my story. And I have sponsored 4 with him, people I don't know, because he believes in it. And I said, that's how you build a business and a life. You're not selling. You're organically passionate about something that pays you because it's a great business model. That's what we have in Plexus. That's what we have.
Yes. Yes. Amen to that. It's a great business model, incredible products paired together with an amazing community. That's what we have. Yes. So if you're like, okay, I love this. This sounds amazing. Yes, this is what I need. And it's giving you that hope and inspiration tonight. Here is, you might already be using the products. I'm guessing if you're watching, maybe you've already ordered, they're on their way, or you're thinking about trying them. Whatever it is, you're just going to do what Sonia did. What do you want to improve in? What areas of health do you have needs for? Tell your friend and choose a product pack. That's it, for your needs. Choose a product pack for your needs. And with that, you get a referral link. It's your customer referral link, your website you want to share with your mom or your sister. They'll click on your link and you earn commissions right away from them trying the products and using the products as well. Simple as that. There's nothing else to it. And we keep saying $300 because this is what we have here every single month, not just in January, but this month. If three friends use that referral link, want to get started with you, want to be your accountability partners and get a welcome pack as well, you're going to earn back around $300 right away for sharing. And every single month there's an extra prize. This month it's a $150 Boot Barn gift card. So any of those mamas out there or ladies who want some guilt-free shopping, right? Like, I just want to go and not worry about taking out of the family's budget. Right there for you. I love that that is built in. Last month, it was a North Face jacket. It's always something extra, some perk. But that is as simple as it is getting a product pack, experiencing the products, you telling your friends about them if you love them like we have, and like 98% of people do, right? And you get your referral link. And like Dr. Stephanie said earlier, Plexus is doing all the other work. That's what's beautiful about it. They're the ones with the scientists developing products and testing products and the marketing and the brochures and videos and training tools, shipping department, everything. And you are the mouthpiece. And they compensate you for being the mouthpiece of the products and starting that ripple effect of sharing and impacting people's lives. And your paycheck increases as the impact that you make increases. And that's the additional beauty to this model. So we hope that this gave you some inspiration and hope tonight, and leave you with the question of, what if this is the answer to that dream? And I leave it at that because you know what that is. You know what that dream is in your heart, or that desire, or that prayer, or that thing you have been hoping for. But that dream that you have been holding like it was for us. So thank you for your time tonight. We hope to see you on this side and hear your stories one day on the business of gut health. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Stephanie. Thank you, Gianna. Thank you so much for your story and your impact. And we'll talk to you later.